Thank you very much for joining us. Suppose you're joining us for the first time. We're done with the first session, so this is the second session. With me in the studio is Miss Anne Onyango. We're talking matters events planning, what it takes to be an event planner. So in the first session, Anne has already told us much more about this event planning business, what she does. And as we're progressing, Anne, thank you very much for the second session. So you can be telling us much more about this story. Okay, what does it take to reach out to clients, especially the ones that you deal with?
I think you have to be very convincing. Number one.
So it's like you're a marketer.
Yes, you have to market the business. A client needs to go somewhere and look for a reference and find you there. And actually, your work has to sell for that client. It takes just more than talking to actually engage a client. So I would tell you, if you went to Didi Flowers and Deco, what you see there is what you will get and much more. Then I expect you to go there and check. And if what you see is what you like, then I'm your man. Yes.
Because speaking about of what you see is what you get, nowadays a lot of things maybe like online, they're false and everything, like a lot of pictures are being downloaded. I don't know if you've ever encountered such a challenge where a customer comes and tells you that you guys, you can't offer this or this not and this not.
Yes. Actually, a lot of clients have been disappointed, possibly in their events, and that is understandable. Once in a while, you saw something too cheap or something too good to be true, and you ran after it. And at the end, what you get is disappointment. But we make it our business to ensure that the client who comes to us is given maximum for what they are going to spend. And that is why if you tell me, I want my setting in this kind of way, I am ready to go out there and import whatever I have just to make your event look as good as it should. So that those are the extra miles we actually go for. And actually, I think there is no client to date, I must say, that won't stand up and say they've done a wonderful job. If you go to our page, you'll find reviews. And I think those reviews just speak a lot about the kind of work that we do.
Because when you're speaking of imports, that draws me to timelines.
Yes.
Timelines and budgets that clients do give you. Any crazy timeline that you've worked with?
Oh, yeah. Actually, quite a number. Actually, I think it's very helpful for a client to probably start planning your event maybe a year, 6 months to your event. I think that's very safe. But you find that some things don't always work out the way we want, and you find you got engaged 2 months ago, and you want your wedding like 1 month from a certain date. You want your wedding
1 month?
Yeah, like 1 month. There are clients who go that, and you'll find there are some clients who won't actually finalize their date until maybe that month too. And so you have to work around their schedules because you find somebody else booked that date. And because you had already been in discussion with this client, you cannot throw them elsewhere. So you try and squeeze 2 or 3 events within the same day. And that can be quite a challenge because now you have to look for extra hands. You have to say, okay, you go to that function, and then you find there are also some clients who decide, no, I want you specifically at my function, and so is the other one. So it's normally quite a challenge, and we always advise that, for your wedding, especially things like cakes, at least cakes need to be planned about 5-6 months too, because of the maturing.
Really?
Yeah, because cakes need to mature. If you tell me you want a fruit cake, it has to mature. So if you tell me a month to your event, it's not going to be as nice as it should be. So also you'll find that the bakers also need ample time to actually prepare for some of these things. So it's good to give ample notice.
I feel this one is a broad topic.
Yes.
Like planning for events, it's very broad.
It's
because when
very
you're talking about speaking of making cakes or planning to make cakes, okay, we'll come to that, the factors to be considered when planning for an event. But let's talk about individual planning. Do you do individual plannings?
Yes, actually we do. If you have something that you need done, it is okay to actually call me and tell me, I'm having a birthday. Can you come?
You do also birthdays?
Yeah. Can you please organize a birthday party for me? Like I have an event in December where the mother is actually in the States. And since she will not be here, it's up to me to make sure when she lands with her son that the birthday is in place.
Whose birthday is it?
The Hassan's birthday.
Oh, okay.
So I have to actually start sourcing for the venue, book it in advance because December is quite...
for holidays and everything.
Yeah, so you have to make sure you book in advance, try and look for the nitty-gritty things like children decors and who is the tents and everything. And yeah, it's quite some work. Yes, we do individual events.
How about the corporates?
Corporates, actually, now corporates is also quite broad. And
because I know with corporates, they want something that is standard. It has to be
specific, and it has to read the image of the company. You cannot afford to mess up a company's image.
Yeah.
You have to research on this company. You have to find out what is this product about. What is their color scheme? What is their client market? What am I looking at? You just don't go in and just set up tents and put a color scheme, and you have to go and actually research on this company, find out what they want, see if you can put in an extra touch. What are their clients? Are they inviting clients? Who are their clients? Is it going to be the president? Is it going to be? So you have to actually make sure it meets the image.
Even those who are coming to the event, those are factors to be considered.
Yes, you have to actually, because honestly, our president is not going to come and sit on, a stool or something, or a plastic chair. I mean, you have to have a few things that really will give that company the image that it deserves.
Let's talk about factors to be considered. Okay, like for instance, when I'm planning for an event, what are some of the factors that I should be considering? Let's take, for instance, I'm planning maybe for a wedding.
Okay.
Which time frame should I start planning these events?
Actually, it's actually safe to start at least a year to an event.
A year, okay.
An year to an event. You have to, because most of the time you'll find you'll start 6 months to, and most premises are booked. Yeah. People book way in advance. So you'll find you'll start even 4 months to and you cannot find a venue. And it throws you into panic. Yeah, and your dress is already there and your food is already set and you have nowhere to hold your function. So I think it's also always best if you know you're going to have a function, start in advance. That even gives the event planner time to actually source for the best. But if you give me like 2 months to, I'm going to see what comes my way as fast as I can, because you're also putting pressure on me. So I have to source for the best. And to get the best, I need time to actually source for the best. But of course we have the best in our books. We know who can do this. But also you have to realize that the budget, your budget will be a determining factor of who I have in mind. So I have to go out there and source to meet your budget. Yeah.
And how do you inspire confidence and trust in your clients for them to come back?
Actually, it's more about the work I do and the efficiency. If you call me, I should be available at all times. If you call me and you want to find out, have I booked your venue, I need to be on call. I actually need to be available to you, to put you at ease. But if you call me and I'm Teja and I cannot be found, then that becomes a serious problem for the client. Another thing that would build the trust is the work that I do for you. If I do a perfect job for you, I don't see any reason why. I don't even have to justify why you should come back the next time. I think it's just going to be self-explanatory. Yeah.
As we're concluding the show, there's something about hockey that you're telling me before the show, before we started the show.
Oh yeah, my other
Tell us something about your other activities away from planning.
Okay, actually, I'm part of a hockey team, Sliders hockey team. And we're actually a ladies hockey team. We are self-sponsored, as in we have to source for our own financial management to keep the team running. It's been in existence for more than 19 years.
19 years?
Yes. We have, but it's been quite a task. It's been quite a task because you'll find in the whole team, maybe we're about 7 people who are able to sustain the team through our own jobs and, and it becomes quite a challenge because all the other players you'll find are university students and they're waiting to join university. So you have to take care of their fare and you have to take care of where you'll find another one lives in Nakuru but wants to play with you and they need to come to Nairobi. So you have to house them. And you'll find like there's an event that was here in January, the Africa Club Championships. We were representatives of Kenya. And you find that because we do not have sufficient sponsorship, we were forced to not go into camp which was a big problem for us. And with that goes with, we don't have training fields. And that actually minimizes our chances of actually being a better participant in the event. And that meant that we had to go into each other's houses to host each other during this event, while other teams that we compete against are actually corporate. You find that we have Telcom Kenya, we have USIU, we have Kenyatta University, we have all sorts of, we have Kenya Police. You know, they are all supported by their corporates or their institutions. So
But
find.
Are you guys doing something so that you can get sponsorship?
Actually, we try to approach as many companies as we can to get sponsorship. I know the most recent was Hako Industries that actually offered us some merchandise, which we really appreciated. And there are few other, like you can find people within the hockey fraternity that would say, okay, I'm going to give you guys this uniform to use this season. And that is, we can consider as sponsorship, because at least you've given us an extra mile to look for an extra uniform, you know. And again, we also want to hold an event where we'll bring together all the teams, and through registration, at least we can make a little money towards our next season. That is next year. So there are quite a few activities we are trying to go through, car washing and all those other events. So yeah, it's just a way of collecting revenue for the team. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Anne. Conclusion, to those people watching you, maybe as an events planner, they want to reach out to you, how can they get you?
Actually, mostly mobile. But my latest project is we are actually leasing out a premise at We Create Kenya, which is We Create is more or less a women empowerment program, and we are leasing out their grounds, and we want to start hosting events that empower women, like an organic market or something where women can actually come with their produce or products and just, you know, showcase them to the public. And it will be almost minimal for the public to come there. Probably you might pay 50 shillings or something because of course, for the security of parking your cars and everything. But We Create Kenya is actually on Gitanga Road. And very soon.
Gitanga Road, Lavington.
Yeah, Lavington, Gitanga Road. Yeah. I think Gathero Drive.
Yeah.
And I think that is where it will be most appropriate to find me. And also, if you go to our page, Didi Flowers and Deco, you can always get us there. My phone number, you'd like me to give the phone number?
Okay, it's upon you now.
Yeah.
As an event planner, it's upon you.
Yes, so 0736-203427 is my number. You can always reach me on that number and we will make your event.
But you have to put them some caution. Yes. Reach you out on what?
You can reach out to anytime you have an event. Any type of event, not just
caution.
Personal,
is anytime you have an event, business. Business.
Yeah, you can always reach me on that number, and yes, we'll definitely make your event worth it. Yes.
Thank you very much, Anne, for coming to our studios today. Yes. Indeed, that was a very nice talk.
I hope so. I hope it will empower somebody out there to actually take their time to, because sitting home and expecting things to work for you, it never works. You have to go out there, take the extra mile, do what you do best. If you feel you cook better, go out there and do something with yourself. If you think you draw, go out there, do some paintings, go sell them to motorists. So whoever is willing, don't sleep on your talent and expect things to work for you. So if you feel you have a passion for something, why not just go ahead and exploit? You never know what it has in store. It doesn't mean that because you went to university and did engineering that is exactly what you're going to do out there. No, it doesn't work out. For most people, it's not going to work out that way. I've done so many things that I never imagined I would do. But you have to have a plan A, a plan B, plan C. Always.
Thank you very much, Anne. And on that note, I can't be adding something. That marks the end of our show today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Until next time, my name is Sharon Ong'awo.